All right, I think we're live right now, everybody. It's been a while. I'm not quite sure how like out of sync this is, but might be a lot out of sync, I think. But it's all good. Sorry about the late start. OBS always chooses to fail right away. But thank you all for joining. I'm really excited. This is the first time anybody's going to be hearing the album in full since I finished it, and it comes out tomorrow. And at 9 o'clock in 3 hours, there's gonna be a full stream on YouTube of it without all of this, all the production side of things. But yeah, with that being said, thank you. I'm sure there's gonna be quite a few people in here that pre-ordered the record and the book now too, and I'm really excited about it all. And so just thank you for all that. I'm actually going to just turn my mic up here. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Maybe even up there. Yeah. Dan Chase, thanks for joining. It's really cool. As you can see here, I've got the project files for the first track on and up. This is an exciting one. I really love this song, and it's going to be sort of like the single of the album, the one that sort of gets pushed on Spotify and stuff. So tomorrow morning, find your release radar, and this will be the one that's on it. It's called Of Woods and Seas. I'm not quite sure how we should sort of go about this, whether or not everybody wants to see the synths used or the way things are EQ'd, or if I should play the whole song first. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll play the whole song first. If you could let me know if it's too quiet or whatever. Yeah, maybe actually I'm going to kind of be talking through it too. Like I said, in a couple hours, there's going to be, the stream, so you can hear it then. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this track in particular. It's mostly, Dan Chase, play through once and then pick out stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's play it. If it's too quiet, please let me know in the chat and I'll figure something out. We'll see. But yeah, I'll also show the bus here. Sucks I don't have the old setup that I had before, but it is all good. All right, cool. Let's press play. See how it goes. You should be able to hear it now. Actually, I'm gonna just... Oops. I'm just gonna boost it by a bit so everybody can hear it. right, so I muted myself. Hopefully that made it sound a little bit better. Um, so that's the first track. You know, it's very short. It's a nice little intro track, but I really love it. I think there's something really special about it. Dan, it's a good thought. You know, picking that out from the Library Fields piano. It's pretty much the same. Well, it is the same piano, and it's the same sort of technique where I was kind of looping, and I thought it sounded so cool with this album. Um, it's kind of the thing that you'll be able to hear throughout. You know, I do it with piano, I do it with the guitar as well in other tracks, and yeah, it's a cool one. I don't know, I just really like it. It feels clean, and I'm proud of this one. You know, it's good. Um, but CS, yo, I've never caught one in live streams before. Thank you for the nice message. Yeah, I've been wanting to do the live streams again for a while. It's been almost a year since my last one, but hoping to get more into it. I've been super busy with it, with everything. But even just an hour here and there, you know, I think it's a really cool thing. I'm just gonna go through these chats before I get into the instruments. Actually, while I'm talking, I'll just sort of play it again. I'll bring down the volume on it, so if it's clashing, let me know. Forgotten Fields. This is an interesting name to see. You are a big inspiration, and you might be surprised to know that, because I know that you sort of went away for a few years. There's a song, and I've been trying to find it. It's like The Swallow Flew or something, where there's that vocal in it that inspired The Ocean No Longer Wants Us so much. No, it is such a sick song, and I can never remember the name of it. It was a while ago. But thank you. The texture is beautiful. Saba, I was just watching another video of yours when this live session popped up. I had to tune in. Oh wow, midnight already. I was thinking I would do it later, because typically people ask it, for it to be around this time. I know in like Vancouver it's like 3 o'clock right now. Where I am right now it's 6 o'clock. But this will be still published on. This is distracting. I have to turn it off. This will be still published on YouTube after the live stream is done, so you'll be able to still come back and go through it and stuff. If anybody has to leave early, that's totally cool. But have a good one, Saba. Hopefully you can catch the rest of it tomorrow. So this track is mainly made up of 3 parts, right? It's got the drone synth intro into the piano, which kind of builds into that bass and stuff, and then ends with the high pitched piano. And we'll just go through the little parts. So I'll just do it on here. Okay. So this drone here. Here's the piano. Actually, I'll show what I did to the piano too. Sorry if it's a bunch of hopping around. All right, so pretty much on the piano, it's literally just EQ. Take away some of the mid mud, and yeah. But it's definitely cool, and with the bass that comes in too. I'm not sure which one it is. As you can see, I mix and make music very low. You can see on my master, it's boosting plus 16 just on EQ, plus 12, and then I got ozone, and then another plus like 4. I don't know why I've always made music like that, but it's always been like that. Let's go back into here. What is this here? Sounds like a piano drone, I think. Something in this album too is like, oh, sorry everybody, didn't realize that it was turned down so much. Something with this album too is that everything was pretty minimal in terms of like effects and stuff. Like there's not even reverb on this one. Pretty much it's just going through Mangle. So yeah, it's pretty bare bones, honestly. let's look at where the bass is. The bass comes in. Forgotten Fields, you were referring to Into the Sky, the Swallow. Yeah, from the, oh yeah, the Zephyr and the Swallow EP. Man, that song is so good. I'm not sure if it's still on Spotify and stuff, but anybody listening, go check that one out because it is so inspiring. Oh, Marina and Cynthia, how's it going? Thanks for joining, and same with you, James. Really cool for you guys to drop in. Can you talk about how you do the piano drone like that? Yes, so the piano drone is this here. So the piano drone comes in with, what I thought was Mangle is actually just taking some of the piano samples that I made, and in FL Studio you can go into Edison, a plugin called Edison. Let me see if I can do it on the fly here. I'm not sure if it'll work with this one. I'm just going to normalize that. Let's see if it's too loud. Hopefully not. Oops. Yep. There goes everybody's ears. Sorry about that. So pretty much without playing the audio, because I don't want to burn out anybody's ears again. I'll actually just turn that off just in case. You can go into Edison, and then there's a blur, which is essentially a convolution reverb, and you can draw in the shape of the reverb, and then as you'll see through the waveform here, yeah, sorry, I'm getting the chat about the blown ears. Sorry about that. Always got to happen at least one live stream. But you'll see here the waveform, and then if you click accept, it turns in, it essentially merges everything. It flattens everything out, and you get just, you know, really space. It's just like blurring something, you know. If you can think of it like an image, it's like out of focus, you know. But Forgotten Field, no reverb. Technically this is a reverb, you know, it's a convolution reverb. It essentially takes a waveform, I believe, and uses it that way to apply reverb. And I always do 100% mix just so that I don't get any of the old sound into it. So that's what the piano would turn into, is this. Aaron Gray, will there be a solo piano on this track? Yeah, there's actually a solo piano track already out. It's called Library Fields, which we'll be getting into in this look through. Those layered piano and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, and I really like the use of guitar on this album too, because once again, there's just like no reverb on them. Just dry, straight from, pretty much straight from guitar rig, I believe. Let's see if I can actually find it in here where I would have recorded into. Nope. I might have cleaned up this project file quite a bit. But you know, just little patterns like that over top piano and drone, you know, turn into that and it creates this big body, you know. It sounds really good. Something else that you'll notice as we're going through it is sort of the lack of panning. You can hear this drone here, it's not panned, it's all through the middle. And something else that I liked, a lot of my favorite music is thin and it sounds like it was recorded on some sort of mono, you know, 4-track or something. And so I kind of wanted to bring that into here. Obviously there's a lot of panning in the piano and the melodic instruments, but yeah, let's look at, so I pretty much used labs for the synths. I really like this one here. Labs is all free, so you can definitely go out and look for this on Google. There's a tape orchestra sort of patch, and they're so good, especially these overblown and crinkled ones. I think they ran them through tape, and like you can hear it there. You hear how it sort of modulates. And you can kind of get like the noisy tape. when you detune that, and actually I'll show you that right here. So we'll play the C sharp. Maybe we'll play the G sharp because you can hear the tape more. You detune it, you can hear the tape in a different the tape effect in a different way. Sounds really cool. Another way to get little textures and stuff, you know. Oh, and then the ending piano, I really like too. The guitars add an exquisite. Yeah, post rock is like a big, it's a big influence of mine. So anytime you can get a full band sound in it, it sounds really cool, I think. But these pianos were especially interesting, and something I started doing a lot is like just pitching and allowing digital artifacts to come through. I think they sound really nice sometimes. Let me try to find it in here. I think it's in here, number 16. So as you can see, pitched up an octave and pitched up an octave, yeah. And I'll play each one separately. So, they're actually the same sample. You can actually see that here, but they're offset by, five bars or so. So if I went like this, they're playing the same thing, but if you offset it just a little bit, it adds sort of like a stereo width. And they're also hard panned left and right. So I definitely like that. That song. I love that song. I think it's really, really good. These are the chords I used. Who knows what key is in? I don't. It's like D sharp minor or something. D sharp major. Forgotten Fields. Panning fully left and right. Yeah, you can see that right here in FL. I'm not sure if everybody uses FL here, but these are the panning functions right there. So one of them is pan left, one of them is pan right, and then just sort of offset by a few bars to sort of get that, dreamy sort of feeling. Yeah. So this here sounds like, let me see if I can actually. I haven't been in these project files for a long time, so I'm so lost. So that one here is this. Kind of sounds like, I don't know, birds or something. It's pretty cool though. And the automation here is just that. So it starts off here at the beginning, comes up, and then when everything sort of goes away, it does as well. Leaves a lot of space and a lot of room. And then comes back in. There was a version of this song where it was like a really heavy sub bass coming in here, and I decided to change it for the organic bass guitar. I think it does a lot for it. Is that the Labs tape? I believe so. Let me check real fast. Yeah, so this is the brass loop one. A lot of people say, small screen. I can make that bigger. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. I can't make it bigger. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. A lot of people believe in like making your own instruments and stuff, and I do too for the most part, but when something is as good as Spitfire's Labs, there's not really a lot of point. What's really cool is making your own drones and stuff out of guitar and acoustic guitar and cello and trumpet and layering it with these. It adds a lot of, depth and all that. So that is that song. I guess before we continue on to the next song, I'm not sure if I'm going through these right either. If anybody has anything that they want to see, actually, I don't know what these are here. It looks like they're from insert 15. So, oh yeah, this is the piano drone. And just, I love this sort of thing where you're layering the piano like a looper. It's really cool. It's really good. It's really fun too. It's really satisfying. And you can even hear the noise in the background. Let me get the EQ. Right? It's all of this here that adds a lot, I think. A lot of air and a lot of rhythm too. You know, you can kind of hear that in the back. But yeah. Yeah, the room tone adds a lot. Exactly. It's just, there's something about recording a real instrument, you know, and it's not perfect. That adds a lot. But when you tie that in with perfect VSTs or samples, it's just the best to me. So we'll go on to the next track. Let's hope that it loads quick enough, because earlier it was not loading very fast and it was even crashing. So we'll see. If it crashes, I'll come back on and go from there. But it looks like it's pretty good so far. Brian Lee, will we see some Chantel on this? The Ocean No Longer Onset remains in my top 3 of all time. Unfortunately, Chantel will not be on this one again. You know, it's been a while since Chantel's been on a track. She doesn't feel like she's, you know, a strong vocalist and stuff like that, which I don't blame her. She's not classically trained and stuff. But we've been talking about it a lot. Speaking of Chantel, we are bringing back the podcast though, which is very fun and very exciting. That'll be back next Sunday. Not the Sunday coming up, but the next one. We have the next episode coming out. It'll be on video, which is interesting and scary. But I'll be posting about that. Before we get on to Who Tends a Garden, though, let me grab the record and the book. So we got records made, of course, as per usual. You know, they look really nice, just the album cover and the back, like that. But another cool thing is I've always wanted a red vinyl. And this red came out really nice. It's just like a dark. It looks a little bit lighter in the camera, but it's more like that in real life. But it's really nice. I really like this one. And then it also comes with a couple prints that are the album covers. Sorry, not the album covers, the single covers, which I'll show you right now. You know, like the Who Tends a Garden single one here with the emblem. It's sick, and then the then cover there. So I'm gonna be framing that personally. I think those are really cool. I kind of regret not making the purple one the album cover, but that's all good. Still get it, you know. Still get your hands on it. Then something really exciting that I was working on for a long time and sort of went away. And then right before the album came out, it sort of came back, was this book that I did with Ben Nespejani, which is this one here. It's pretty sick. Like, you know, it's just got the flower emblem on it. And then inside is like these full page things. And then he's got his poetry for each track. So 9 pieces. You know, let's see if you can see that at all. You know, and then each of the the single covers. Like that's Ever Endings right there. It's just one that we made. It's pretty sick. The full layout for Then, it's pretty sick. Yeah, I love this thing. I'm really proud of it. Ben killed it, and it's one of my like favorite projects I think I've ever done. Incog. Hey everyone, it's a great day because we have a new album from our god. I'm gonna choose to ignore that one. But thank you. I'm glad that everybody is excited about the album. Who did the photography? I did the photography. Yeah. All shot on my X100V. You can probably tell it's very inspired by like Benoit Poulard, who does those sort of close-up, flowery images on Polaroid. I wanted to, but I thought that was, copying him too close. So I decided just to do it all digitally, add some noise, add some grain. But yeah, which one's my favorite here? Oh, I like that one. There's a song on it called "A Long Line of Violet Hills," and that's that one. Pretty good. I like it a lot. But yeah, enough of that. Before anybody, you can go get them on Bandcamp. Unfortunately, these are $50. I feel really bad about pricing them $50. But they were very expensive, and we could only do like 25. And there's like 10 left. But by no means does anybody have to get one, But yeah, I'm gonna mute myself, and we'll listen to Who Tends a Garden. You might have already heard this song. It's been out. It was the second single, I believe. But yeah, let's check it out. Thanks everyone for the nice comments. Yeah, I love this track too. This track's really special and interesting, you know. It's a drone track, but the way that it was recorded was, so I had been learning trumpet since last year, and through the organelle there's a script called Nori Sampler, and in it you can, you know, record a sample, and then I've talked about this a lot, but you can detune it per key. So if you play fifths, then it's always in key, and it makes these really nice textures and stuff, which is where the original sample here, let me see which one this is. You can hear the, and okay, yeah. I believe it's this. So hear how it's coming in and out? So that's a mix of acoustic guitar, piano, and trumpet. Like that one there is trumpet, piano. And then it was ran through the shallow water pedal by I can't remember the name of the company right now. One of the pedals. And it makes it sort of go in and out, sort of like it's skipping vinyl or skipping tape. And this is what the whole track was made around. I believe even the first, all of this is just a smeared version of that sample. Gone through reverb, gone through, whatever else. I like how you embrace the digital creating. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Exactly. Leaving the space for, you know, the imperfections and stuff is where you get most of the personality out of ambient, you know. Exactly, just enough to make it immersive, right? Something else that I really liked, and something that I've tried for a long time to sort of embrace in ambient, is having these little kicks. So if you have a sub right now, you'll probably be able to hear it. I could probably turn it up, maybe. So this is made out of vinyl crackle, right? It's actually already affected, but pretty much there's a lot of high end over here, and if you just, you know, low cut and detune, you get these weird, what sound like kicks and sub basses, but they're completely random vinyl. So what I did here was just took the ones that I like and just loop it over and over. And I always like when there's sort of at least a little bit of a rhythmic movement in a track. I think it's cool. Let's see what else is happening here. So if I go in here, looks like we're using Contact. Sounded like heartbeats at first. Crazy. Yeah, exactly, Saba. This Contact is empty, so I guess I was not using Contact, which is funny that it's even open. But as you can see here, Mangle's like my favorite instrument. It looks like this sample here, let's see, 210. This sample here, it's a pretty long one. I think it's like a minute, which is just a smeared version of that original sample, is put through Mangle with the pitch varying from like 2 octaves to below 1 octave, and the granular synth makes it sound like that, right? It's panned, some of it's reversed. It sounds amazing on Bose headphones. I mean, speaking of that, yeah, this album is also Dolby mixed. I got to go to the Dolby studio, and it was crazy how immersive that was. I'd never experienced my music in a space like that, where it was just surrounding you and is spinning around you. It was really, really cool. I made a little story about that on Instagram, but it was awesome. Bombastical, thank you for sharing. It's late here in Ireland. Thank you for joining, even for a little bit. I really appreciate that. Like I said earlier, the VOD will be on YouTube still after this. And to reiterate again, in like 2 hours now, the full album stream is going to be up on YouTube, so you can hear all the songs in full at your leisure there right after the stream. I'm hoping it'll be done by then. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. But yeah, there's something with the Mangle is like the best granular sampler I've ever used, and the developer stopped developing it for one reason or another. I guess it didn't sell well or not popular enough. But it's the best. You can do crazy stuff. Like, I'll just raise it a little bit so that it goes to like 4 times octaves. It's just so nice. You know, each grain is prolonged attack, prolonged release. So it's all very smooth instead of cut up like a lot of granular synths are. Because you know, you could make it like, let's see if I can do this here. Right. Sound like this, which is also cool. But when you do it like this, it's all nice and smooth with some reverb on there. Just a good time. For anybody wanting to make ambient, to me, this is the best way to do it. Oh, sorry, not ambient. If you want to make drone, this is the best way to do it, I think. But let me take that off so it doesn't blow anybody's ears out again. And yeah, that's pretty much all this track is. You know, it's piano, acoustic guitar, trumpet, meshed together into drones, really. And it made this really nice sort of actually structured piece. Is really cool. It came together really easily as well. Like, let's see, I worked on it for 3 hours. It says here. I think it was actually more than that, but yeah. It should be, yeah, Mangle is still definitely available somewhere. I think it's $20 at the most. It might actually be less than that. But yeah, there's no support for it anymore. It doesn't work on Mac anymore. And one of the reasons that I'm still on Windows, whatever this version of Windows is because the newest version of Windows, it doesn't work on. So, but can't remember the developer's name. If you type in the Mangle on Google, it should come up. Granular synthesizer. It'll come up. But oh yeah, I wanted to check what these were. Like, I don't understand why I would just put like these here. For some reason, I can't even find it. 054. Oh, it's a cut up version of this. Let's see what this is. I might be getting here late, but what are some of your ambient? I really like the artist Benoit Poulard a lot, as people probably know. And Stars of the Lid, a lot of like dirtier stuff, you know, and stuff that artists that hated even being considered ambient are the coolest ones. They're always very cool, and like the older cranky guys and all that, they're definitely the best. So I guess I just sort of cut some of this and threw it in. I don't know. That's one of the fun things about ambient music as well, is that you just mess around and create pretty things, and it's good. Another ambient influence though is like all the modular dudes like R. Benny and Annie. They're really sick. They really inspire me to do outboard gear, and you always get really wacky stuff and really beautiful things, I think. But yeah, let's get on to track 3. This track hasn't come out yet. It's called Ever Ending. This is a cool one too, I think. I think I was kind of on the edge of it, like whether or not to put it out on the album or not. But I ended up putting it out, or putting it on the album. And I think I'm glad I did. Hey, Pools, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Really appreciate you. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so this one we got more of like a post-rock structure. You can see it just here, actually. Like this will all fade in slowly, all ambient wise, and then all of this is guitar. So just like the first track, something I've been loving doing is sort of looped, layered piano and guitar, and oh man, it is fun. You'll hear it actually. Let's see if we can play it right off the bat. Let me just turn it up because all these tracks aren't all these versions of the tracks aren't mastered. But there we go. You hear how it's like looped and layered, just really high pitch. When you do this and it's repetitive, you can really easily turn these into drones when you detune them. And this is something I did. You'll be able to hear it in this sample here. Looks like that's insert 12. Oh, that one sounds like... Okay, let's listen to this one before I get into all this. I'm going to mute myself and let's play it. All right. When this one was on, I just set up a sidechain to the FL audio from this, so it should be a lot cleaner. I hope I didn't break anything, but we'll see. Just so that you guys can actually hear me instead of it all being muffled and shit. So that was that track. Thank you for all the kind words again. How's it going, Ben? Neon Pajamas. I actually just showed off our book 20 minutes ago. Which is so sick again. I'll show it off in a couple more tracks again because I love it and I can't stop talking about it. But yeah, I just set up the sidechain here, so hopefully you'll actually be able to hear me. I used to have it, and then I, not having streamed for like a year, everything broke, and I had to redo everything today. But I think I just got it. But yeah, thank you everybody for the nice words on this track. This track was interesting because the idea of bells, right, and like xylophone, which that is it feels tacky. It feels overdone. But I was just like, screw it. I think it sounds good. Let's try it. Let's see how people react to it, because it does sound nice, and it's a very easy way to make drones and stuff. Thank you, Forgotten Fields. Yeah, seriously, I really appreciate that. It's good to have you back too, honestly. I think that's cool. It's been a long time. But yeah, so let's go through it. These bells. What I did, I put some isotope vinyl on them, just get a little bit of warp so that warbles like it's through tape. And then behind it, slowly everything just comes up, right? Like, these are the bells made into a drone, going through guitar rig for the for some dirt and some grit, and then the reverb. Here's detuned bells as well, down an octave. More bells just turned into drones, of course. Looks like that's what this whole project is, like usual. So also looks like we had some contact in here. Let's see what instrument this was. Once again, I guess I got rid of it. Well, it's playing this. Oh no, this is labs. Once again, the tape orchestra. Woods loop. It just sounds so good. I can't stop using it. Yeah, that's this one. Hear how it's just dirty and grainy and just horrible, but really good at the same time. Naturally, without reverb, sounds like this. And without EQ, is like that. So I pretty much got rid of anything pretty much under 300 hertz. I pretty much got rid of, and then added the reverb, and I think it's pretty nice like that. So we're getting now into guitar and whatever this is. Sounds nice. I think that's actually the bowed xylophone, which sounds really nice. Got the idea from watching some Bon Iver live shows, because S. Carey does that a lot. He bows his xylophone, and it's awesome. It just sounds so nice. So like, I don't know the word, maybe angelic. It's really nice. And then yeah, the main chorus, which are these guitars. Oh, and this is detuned guitar too. It looks like this is actually stretched guitar. So pretty much in FL it's really easy. I'll show you right here if I can. So if I take this guitar and I turn it up, should work. It does not. Okay. Oh, there. So that sounds like that. If you go like this in FL and make it a sample, and then stretch it by 2. It'll, stretch and then go down by an octave. And it sounds really cool when it does, Because especially when it's already affected, you get the digital distortion and digital artifacts that make up a lot of just really nice sound. So that's a little tip as well. You can do that on drones, you can do that on vocals, you can do that on everything. It sounds great. Let's go through every layer here of these guitars. Let's go to this one. So, yeah, we got this. Going with this. Just to hit that third, give that triplet feel. I love triplet feels. With this too. The high pitch one. And they're all panned around, of course. With the delay. I'll show you the echo in a second. It's all through Guitar Rig. And then as it comes to the end here. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Just these little patterns, and they create this. Oh, it's just awesome. And then it goes into this. Put some bass below that, and you're good to go. So the echo on here is in Guitar Rig, just the tape echo, and the speed's all the way down. Head A is doing 120, so it's like it's a tape echo, right? Sounds really good. But something else that I just want to show you real fast, because this is such a good technique. Like, honestly, I'm obsessed with it. Is if you add a reverb. Let's try not to crash the whole FL, right? Did it work? Oh, there. Okay. Check this out. Right. Just turns into the perfect drone. And if you detune it, perfect, right? I do that so often, but of course, limits with drone, right? Because it's kind of hard to work in and make anything actually interesting with purely drone music. Even like this, like the whole time, this is all that's happening, at least in Contact. Let's see, 18. Yeah, I think I got rid of this instrument, but those are the notes anyways. It's pretty much all C sharp, D sharp, F, G. It's all sharps, which sounds really great and is typically what is used on this album all the way through it. I'll sneak in an F every once in a while, but other than that, yeah, that's that song. Pretty good. So that's track 3 of 9. Hopefully everybody's got time for 2 more hours of this. Actually, how long have we been live for? 58 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay. Track 4. Let's go. Then, track 4 is Then, which is out now already. It was the first single, I believe. This one is interesting too, because I think that Everending and Then are pretty similar. And this was the issue that I was having when I was, coming up with the track list. And there's another reason that I actually put them together is because they're so similar. They sort of blend into each other, and I thought that was really nice, especially since I didn't really do long tracks on this album. So, kind of feels like an 8-minute track, although there is an 8-minute track, which I love, which we'll get to. And I think that one it's the second last track, I think. Track 8. Okay. Apparently we have vocal in this track. I don't believe that's actually true. But this is then. Looks like we did no MIDI at all. Looks like I used a 3x oscillator. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everybody. Blowing your ears out again. I'm not sure why that is here, but it looks like I also have Contact, which is the Oliver Arnold's bundle. I've got some Labs, which is in the modular pianos thing. These ones are really great sample packs too. Just really weird sort of belly, things. And then I got another Labs, which is once again the tape orchestra. You can see a pattern here, right? It's all the same instruments, which is what I typically do for albums. A lot of ambient artists and lo-fi artists and whatever, electronic artists try to get different sounds for every song. But if you think about your favorite bands, they probably use the same guitar tone or same drums or whatever. So I try not to overthink that. Let's listen to this one. I'll mute myself. So that was that one. A lot of people, I think, have already heard this one. It was like the most popular single that came out. And Pools, thanks. Yeah. I can't remember exactly. I guess we're about to find out what the sort of effect on the bells was. But as you can hear with that track and the one before, it's similar theme. there's guitar, there's bells. This one is a lot more sparse, obviously, but I really like this one a lot, which is why it was the first single. Let's go through it and see what's going on. So it looks like this is mostly the bells drone. Which is pretty interesting. When I was writing this one, pretty much the only thing I kept in mind was that I wanted to be able to play it live. And we did that, live video here on YouTube, and it turned out pretty well. But pretty much I was able to just throw all these drones on a tape and then play the organelle and play the guitar to it. It was fun. If I ever start doing live shows again, this will definitely be one on the set list. Yeah, Forgotten Fields, exactly. The isolated string cuts through. I'm trying to find where that bell is. So it looks like I just consolidated all like the MIDI and stuff that I was working with into audio files so that I could, mess around with them a little bit. Oh, you can hear the reversed guitar there. Let's see what we were doing on Mangle here. I'll just stop that and play the original sample. Sorry, everybody. Jeez. It's because Mangle is... I don't even know what's going on there. Okay, I won't do that. Once again, blown ears. Jesus. But it was some sort of... Maybe if I make it go down a lot. Nah, screw it. I won't. I don't even want to bother. Okay. But yeah. That turned into something here. It seems like everything on here was made through Mangle. This is one of the issues, though, of making music so quietly and then trying to live stream it when everything's sort of maximized. Ugh. My bad. Simple track. There's not really much to this one. I do like it, though. There's a certain vibe from this one. You hear that too? Let me find which sample that's from. There, that. So these are sine tones with hitting guitar strings with metal, kind of like how Bon Iver does it, always copying Bon Iver and other sort of guitar things. Is this 9? It is. Okay, so it's these two samples here. Let's hear how this sounds. So you can hear that a lot, actually. Let me boost that. So Mangle pretty much made, like, you can hear it here. There's little guitar tones and hitting the guitar with metal. And things cut in and out, and they do all this. It's really cool. And because of the way that this drone pattern thing is, it kind of goes in waves. You can see it here, how it raises in volume and comes back down, and then it's just repeated 3 times throughout the song. And that's sort of the structure. Everything is following that. And then it looks like this is just like a detuned version of that, where it's detuned lower. And yeah, I'll go to sleep, even though I'd love to say we'll watch the rest later. Stunning work as always. Can't wait for my copy of the vinyl. You're a unique talent. Thank you so much. Honestly, the first vinyls will be getting shipped out tomorrow. I'm hoping. I got a big pack of them right there. A whole lot of them. But I really appreciate that. And same with you, Pools. The VOD will stay up, so if you ever want to get any insight into any of the tracks that come out tomorrow, just scroll through it, and I'm sure you'll find it. But have a good one. Thanks again for showing up to this. With that being said, let's get on to the next track, because everybody has probably heard too much of this song, and even too much of this song too, honestly. This is Library Fields. This is one that I am also very much stoked on. Oh, there it goes. FL Studio crash. I was waiting for that. I'm assuming the RAM sort of got too backed up. Sleeping Dancing and number 5. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. So what's cool about this track is I remember I was making it and I just didn't think it was enough, it was just like a looped piano patterns, it wasn't much. Oh, nice. I still have it in the project file. And then I brought it to Chad, who is Sunrain, who also masters majority of my music. And we ended up making this full version of it. I hope I still have the drums in here. I don't think I do. But it was cool. It was like a post-rock track. I ended up taking most of it out, just keeping the bass and some of the parts that we put on his piano, which I'll isolate and show. But it was just really cool. Let's listen to it. I'll mute myself. Dan Chase, I remember being... Yeah, actually, right, I forgot. I was mixing this one on stream. That was the last stream I did, which is really cool. Let's see what that turned into. Oh no, you can't hear the track. Oh, it must be because... Sorry, everybody. There was, 2 minutes of pure silence. It's nice. Nice stream got going here. Thanks for joining Forgotten Fields. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's just because I have to change my ASIO device to FL ASIO. Let's see how that goes. Now you can hear it. All right. Let's listen to it. I'm sure everybody's already heard this one, but I'll mute myself. Thanks, Dan, for letting me know. Good ears, Dan. Yeah, as usual, that's the Labs Woods underneath. I think it's the blown out one. Yeah, overblown. Not the crinkle. It just sounds so good. How can you not use it, right? So I really love that track. Yeah, that's a good one. It was so fun to make too. Like, just sat down at the piano and recorded like 21 layers of piano, just like going in between each other. Oh, it was awesome. I do want to hear this section though with what me and Chad had recorded. Let's see. Hopefully it's not loud or anything. We'll see. Sounds pretty cool. I remember there was this whole other section. There was drums, there was bass, there was like a lot of stuff going into it before. But as you can tell, those weren't quite done yet. Sound cool though. Cool little thing. For this one, there's not really much to go through though. I do like each of the sections, right? Chad's piano sounds so good. I believe it was this one. I think the interesting thing about this track is just so his piano is the one that's very clear low end, also with the bass guitar. But just the polyrhythms that are going on all around here. Like I'll play. Like, that's one of the layers. Now that you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it, But when those are together, they just sound just so cool, right? And I love that pattern. And then, yeah, those chords are just what's under it, and like, they're good chords too. I actually like this song a lot when it's just with none of the high. You sold the bass and low piano stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, it just sounds so good. The bass comes in over here. I would like to put out like eventually another version of it where it's maybe a couple versions of it would be cool. I don't know. Isn't that the thing now? Maybe a version of it that's not layered and just like what you can actually play in it. That'd be really cool, I think. Maybe a sped up version. Yeah, there's a lot of subtlety in here. It would be cool actually to release the stems of this and to see what people can do with it, because I think there's a lot here, like even adding strings and stuff and all that. You can see that I muted these before. I want to see what happens when these are still in. I was muted. I was muted maybe the whole time. I don't even know. Slowed and reverb version before somebody else does. Exactly. That'd be so funny though. Like on a track that's already slowed and reverbed. How much slower can you get? I think this track is tough because there's so much to it that you can isolate it and it be enough. Yeah, exactly. You can do a lot with that track, and I'm probably gonna go back through it in the future for ideas. Like, there's a lot of piano melody there. That's a lot. That's has a lot of potential. So this track is fun too because it's just drone, and I really love my drone tracks. Like on For Us Alone, Open was one of my favorite tracks. And this is a lot like that one, but in the second half, it just goes into this nice chord progression, synthy chord progression, and it's really cool. Let's see what things I was using. Arctic Swells, apparently, and tape orchestra, again, as usual. And then a lot of Mangle, of course. But I am going to mute myself, play this, let you guys listen to it. I'm also going to turn off the webcam. I'm going to go get a drink of water because this song is 7 minutes. So have fun with this one. Be back in a second. So that's that one. Long one, but I think it's really good. It's really minimal. It's really nice. Really deep, right? The high end in this section, it's like water and stuff, but not quite, which I like. 'Cause I don't really like putting the wave sounds or whatever in it. Yeah, this was so I was actually the original plan for the song was to sort of go into this lead section and just fade out, but I was like, let's bring it back, you know? Sounds good. I don't know. Okay, so this song, can you talk about the noise waves? Let's listen to each section because I'm wondering where it's coming from. Not there. So it looks like it's coming from here. So it's definitely coming from Mangle, but oh, you know what it is? So for a while there, the way I was recording samples was through the organelle, the mic on the organelle, which is already noisy, but I would actually record it from my speakers with the room tone. And then what I did was I threw it from from my organelle into FL. And then I boosted the high end and then threw it into Mangle. So that's all like natural tone, just like super distorted and super maximized, you know. And as you can hear, it's sort of panning. Right? And the wash is there because it's naturally from Mangle. Because the attack and release is 3 seconds, you should be able to hear it here. And there's the room tone, right? With that. So that's the original one before any. But what is this one? Looks like we got 3 layers in this Mangle. With extra wash too. So that's just a detuned version of it. So obviously that's cello. That's old cello samples recorded through the speakers into the organelle with the low end boosted, thrown into Mangle. And then this one here is piano in another room, boosted and maximized, and pitched up. I don't know if this made it in. Let's hear it with all 3 layers. Yeah. That's interesting. Very interesting. But I think the problem was my piano was too detuned at the time. Because that's pretty out. Wow, that's interesting. I don't remember even doing that at all. So that's how this one was created. And then that's underneath everything. Which is very interesting, to me at least. Because that's this. And that's this. Weird. Very weird track. And then this is this, I think. No, it's not. That's this. See, once again, it's been so long since I've been in these project files that I don't know what's going on. But I really like that sound. That's nice. Oh, that's the low one. That's really interesting. And then see these ones that say swell DPA? Those were cello swells recorded on my DPA 4090, which is this, without reverb. And you can hear that they're auto-tuned too. But they're the same sample, just put sideways, and since they're in fifths, any way that you sort of layer them is going to work. And then with reverb, once again. You can hear it there. And as everything comes out, you can hear it more. Another low one. Interesting. And another. Wow. Yeah. And then this this synth is really cool. Did I figure out which synth this was? Oh yeah, the Arctics was. With anything on it? Nope, just EQ. So that's that one. That's literally all it is. But it's one of my favorite ones. I spent about 4 hours on it. Sometimes things just work, right? And that's the best way to sort of have it. Shall we go into track 7? Yes, we shall. A Long Line of Violet Hills. And once again, to everybody who's watching, people that are new here, all these tracks will be out at midnight tonight. And in an hour and 15 minutes, they'll all be up on YouTube as a full mix, which is very exciting. I like my full mixes. And I never did one for Us Alone, and I don't know why. So I'm excited to have another one. So this one, we got a lot of stuff muted. Let's take a listen. Oh, as it's coming in too. This one was supposed to be the first single, but then we replaced it with Then. So let me know if you think that was a good idea or not. So there's that one. Once again, you can hear a lot of similar themes and techniques through every single track here. Like this one has those layered guitars and the Labs instruments, Mangle all over it, and the sort of, they're almost brassy synths, right? Like the brassy drones. Let's look into this a little bit though. Here's the sort of chord progression. Looks like it was made with this VST by Spitfire, the Fink Signatures, which is a guitar one. Let's see what that sounds like though. That's what it turns into. This is originally a guitar. Let's... Right. The way it doesn't sound like a guitar is because I put the attack way up. So this is what it's normally like. You know, even that doesn't sound like a guitar, honestly, but it's the harmonics and stuff, so. And then it goes back to whatever that chord is, and then into whatever that chord is. But it sounds nice. And it's not often that I sort of start a song with a chord progression. I have been lately, especially with newer projects and stuff. I've been less drone and more composition based. But let's look at what this one is here, because this is a crazy synth. So that, once again, tape orchestra and tape orchestra. There you go. And the way that I do it, at least in Mangle, is that I'll get the sample and I'll make a sort of, either I'll blur it out and then throw it in Mangle, or I'll make a arpeggio and I'll throw that in Mango, and that Mangle, not Mango. And that typically works pretty well. It makes it sound sort of like organy or something. I just know it's nice. There's just something nice about it. But yeah, that's that. You can see the automation sort of flowing with it, kind of like strings would. What is this? Oh, nice, the ambient guitar. You can hear that there. That's this. And before, I also had this below it. This one here, but I guess I took that out for one reason or another. Oh. So, wow, okay, I didn't know where this had come from. So there's actually another track that I've been working on, and it's just that, pretty much, with drones and ambience, and it sounds really good. I had forgotten where I made it and what it was for. Let's see what this is, since it's also, oh, just another bass line. So yeah, it looks like I was trying really hard for a bass line in this track. Kind of feel like I should have kept this one in. Lots of delay, lots of reverb, of course. You can see I'm actually automating the reverb in this one. You can hear it here. But let's go through these layers. I kind of wish that I kept the bass in now. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm forgetting. We'll see. I guess we'll see tomorrow. So this layer is this. Actually, we'll start here. Which is just nice, just a fifth. Just the way all these guitars and things with really quick attack, melodic instruments, they just, when they're looped like this, it's just so good. That was a quick one. Only 3 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm just checking the stats of a hockey game that's on right now. Toronto versus Detroit. And we are losing after the first period. Great. So that's that track. A long line of Violet Hills, track 7. Yeah, exactly, Dan. It's its own track. It could completely work. Yeah, I really like this track though. Part of me wishes it was the initial single like it was supposed to be, which is why the single cover is purple, violet, purple. Dan chased the Leafs. Yeah, the Leafs. Been paying a lot of attention to hockey this year and last year. They're doing pretty good, but we'll see. Every year they mess up. But yeah, it's interesting with this album. I thought there was going to be more to talk about, but it really is similar themes and similar techniques throughout. The whole thing. Of course, the Leafs are losing. Well, they've been decently good. Maybe not. Am I the only one? So this next track is called Swimming and Dancing and Floating in Circles, which is interesting because that was the initial name of the album, was going to be Swimming and Dancing and Floating in Circles. But it was a little bit too long. And then we also found the book that inspired Who Tends a Garden, and that just worked a lot better. There was a lot more narrative there about gardening and sound palettes as gardens and all this stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot about this too. Yeah, there's actually a little bit of vocal at the end, which is myself singing really badly but pitched up, and I think it sounds awesome behind piano. This is another very long song though, so I don't know. We'll listen to it because it's mostly drone. As you can see, it's 6 minutes of repeating, right? But yeah, it's like 8:50. So I'll sort of chime in here and there as we get through the track. I really like this one. If you liked Who Tends a Garden, I think you'll like this one because it's the same idea where I recorded acoustic guitar, piano, trumpet, and maybe bowed guitar into the organelle, and it started swarming and doing its thing. And then with effects and reverb and all that, it makes its thing. And you can see here piano again. We're doing the looping thing, although not quite as much. It's a little bit more set back a bit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's go here. I'm gonna mute myself for the time being, and if it comes back, you'll get it. once again, there's those modulating waves. So that's that song. I love that song. There's something about it, like when I was making it. There's a song called Doom by Polienzo, and it's like a solo piano track, but in the background there's like, it's like they're taking down all their equipment from the recording studio or something, and it's like just so nice. And I want something in that vein, and I think I did it. The interesting thing is that my favorite tracks from my albums are typically the ones that are super noisy and the ones that sound like they were recorded off the floor at, a show or something. And this one kind of feels like that. It feels like I played instruments, looped them, and just kind of kept on going. And then it all condenses into that piano part where, with the humming and everything, I don't know, because at first the piano is kind of chaotic, right? It's kind of random, but then it all comes into this right, which is very, very pretty. It's very nice. And the other interesting thing about this is that the piano is not even well recorded. When I did it, it was in the wrong placement, so we were picking up weird harmonics and yeah, and like throughout the whole thing, just these random ambient guitar plucks, and like there's just a lot going on. It's very chaotic, and those are the ones I love. Like, The Sky Sings Its Chorus for Us Alone Part 2. It's very much like this song, at least the drone sections of this song. And yeah, because actually I just want to 14, 21, and 17. 14, 17, 21. At first the piano is... You can tell I recorded this song too when I was doing No with Michael Lessard, because it's kind of the same thing. Everything is all over the place. especially with the initial piano in insert 3, they're not corresponding. Right? See how it starts to make it not make sense. But when it's just these, it's very pretty. And then the humming comes in around, which it's horrible, right? That's me humming, just like after I recorded that piano, I was just like humming along with it. And then as you saw, I just did it, and I have to do it every time because apparently I don't have FL Studio's pitch shifter. It's like a licensable thing. But bring up the pitch an octave and then the formant as well, because you can also do it like this way. But man, does it sound good when it's behind everything and when you haven't heard it like that before. Right? Like, I don't know. There's something I learned about in production school called masking, where you have certain recordings over top of other recordings that add a lot to the initial one. It's a weird technique, but it really worked in this case, I think. But yeah, let's go through. What are these? So that's just like noise and drone. Then there's this one. Looks like I was trying to use Supermassive, but I'm not a big fan of Supermassive. Okay. This guitar that I was playing the whole time too, like I love this guitar. It sounds like it's live off the floor, but I've never even owned an amp before, so let's see how I made that. Oh, I guess I won't be able to. I'm assuming it was into this one. So these are the things for this one. You can tell it's very overdriven, and then just it's actually not that wet with reverb. Obviously this one's 100%, but I don't even think it's reversed either. I don't know how I got this sound. Is that this though? Whatever 7 is, 7, 8, 9. It's this here. Yeah. And then I think there's more guitar that comes in here. But definitely the original one, so much better. But when it's just this, like, it just feels chaotic. And that too. So this piano here on insert 3, I think. Is it piano 3 that I'm thinking? No, it's not. Let me find it. Because I did just hear it. It's the craziest sound. Thank you, Yui. I appreciate that. For us, it's funny. For Us Alone is like one of my least favorite albums. Just trying to wait for this. It's a piano hit, and it's super overdriven. It's really cool. Oh, I might have been in the wrong thing. Shit. Oh, there it is, right there. So that's piano just super overdriven. I don't know where the original, maybe it's this. No, I don't know where the original input is. It might actually be this. Yeah. I don't know. But it's really cool. I'm really proud of this track. I really like it. Oh, Static Coast, of course. Yeah, my music is definitely inspired by Godspeed. Although, I think if I started playing live more, it would be, their live shows are just awesome. Super heavy. Like, I would love to do that, something like that. But yeah, Godspeed You, Black Emperor is like one of the best. Oh man, Schlott, you made it in right near the end, like usual. Appreciate the little bounce in viewers. Yeah, we're going through the second last track of the album. This one's called Swimming and Dancing and Floating in Circles. It's just so noisy, but I love it. I just want to hear the piano part again before we move on to the next one. Oh, little hockey game announcement. Update. Leafs scored, but then Red Wings scored again too. Looks like Sandy scored. But yeah, overall, this track isn't very special. It's just a lot of layers over top of each other, and really badly recorded piano, which I'm assuming went through the organelle. I just love the end. I almost wish that I made the song shorter so that we could get to this part earlier, but I think it's a really nice payoff for the people who do make it through, which I understand. Since it's long, it's going to probably be the least popular song on the album, which is fine. Maybe popular is the wrong word. Yeah, absolutely. So with the scuffling, I believe it's this. No, definitely not that, yeah. Okay, so it's not those. Yeah, so it's definitely just that. Oh, you picked up FL Studio recently? Nice, Schlott. It's a good investment to make. It's very fun. I believe this is the... Do you think that people are listening to individual songs off your albums? For sure. Yeah, for sure they are. I can see those stats on Spotify. A lot of people listen to individual tracks. I mean, I had 4 singles going into this album, right? So of course people are going to listen to the singles instead of everything else. But yeah, Schlott, that's great. And Static Coast, FL is great. Like, it gets a bad rap, but I personally love it. Dan, I'm not sure if that was the piano that we were looking for, but I think it was. Let me know if it wasn't, and I'll try again. Oh man, Julian's in here. What's up, Julian? That's cool. Glad to see you in here. song that I worked the longest on for this album. I'm assuming that's probably what we're looking for here, is the clicking and stuff. Where is this? Okay, let's try again. Is it here? Yeah, it's that. I think it's in the humming one. Maybe it's... Ah, it's here. That's pretty interesting, actually, because I'm definitely still playing. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll show you exactly what's happening. So this piano that I'm playing here is this. If I take away both of these, I'll show you how the recording ended. Oops. What the heck is going on around here? Let me try that again. Yeah, this is where I get up from the piano. Yeah, and I just sort of left that in for no reason, I guess. And then, but on the flip side of that as well is also the start of this piano, which also has the getting on the chair sounds, I believe. Maybe not. Before I had FL Studio, I would just pulse stretch piano tunes in Audacity. That's so good. I think you can get pulse stretch as a VST now, can't you? I haven't used it in a long time. But man, that's awesome. Stretch it out by 800 times. I think there's actually a very sophisticated version of pulse stretch now where there's a lot of like adjustment to be made. It's so powerful though. Let's see. I'm just gonna Google it real quick. Stretch VST. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. Look at what it looks like now. I'll just see if I can bring it down. Without blowing ears. Okay, good. I don't know if everybody knows Venus Theory, but he's a great YouTuber. That's what pulse stretch looks like now. That's pretty crazy. Let me. Can you believe that? Whereas before it was just not like that at all. That's so funny. I think a company called Sonosaurus bought it. I think that's what it seems like. Great payout. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Dan. Part of me also wishes that this was the last song on the album, and it was supposed to be. But I have a bad habit of having tracks to end the album and then just throw another one onto the end for no reason. Which is where we're going to now. Let's go to Weave, which has already been put out, but let's go through it. Weave was also the last track made for the album too. I just felt like 8 tracks wasn't enough for some reason, even though I love 8-track albums. It's weird. But let us see. Oh man, 36 minutes until that the full album mix on YouTube is out. That's pretty awesome. I'm really excited for people to be able to just sort of go through and actually hear what the songs sound like, and find which ones are their favorite, because it was made to be consumed in one, I think, at least for the most part. Um, and I'm definitely more happy with this album than I was with For Us Alone. So yeah, let us just play it. I'll mute myself. Wow, I forgot how much I like that one. It's funny, what I was just saying is, like, I always tend to finish an album and then just stick a song on the end. I did that with You Were Always an Island too, with In Trenches. I think I did that with Views from 16 Stories as well. But that's a good song. What is that bass sound? That bass sound is the sub 60, the sub organ from the Olaf Arnold's pack. Let's see. Oh. It's a good one. I've used that Olaf Arnold's pack for so long on so many tracks. It's crazy. and it's such a good sample pack. You know, the funny thing is I used to be all about like if you use a sample pack or you use samples, you have to mess it up enough to make it your own. And that's just not the case anymore. I don't care. If it sounds good, it sounds good. That's all that matters. Um, and the reverse jangly guitar, yeah, that's a little technique I started doing where you just like hold the chord and then just hit it randomly with your fingers, you know? And it helps a lot when you're not good at guitar either, because then you get those sort of twangy sort of things. Let's actually look at the guitar real quick. Let's see what it is. It's just like totally random. But it's really fun to do, and I think I threw that through Mangle as well, maybe, or it's just like a backwards guitar. But the most surprising thing about this whole project is this. I was using Omnisphere, and I do not remember using Omnisphere in this. I don't even remember opening up Omnisphere ever. And that's this pattern here. It's just these two chords. Let's see what they sound like here. Sounds pretty good to me. And then the effects on them are probably just reverb and delay. And isotope vinyl, pretty heavy. That's interesting. I like it though. I like it a lot. It sounds really good in this. And then look at these. That's crazy. I feel like at least. Let's put 5 and 6 and that's both of these synths together. The interesting thing is all these, it's not quite dissonant, but they're a little bit too close to normally work. This D sharp and C sharp. But I guess since they're so high, it doesn't really matter. And even the F here, like, it's kind of weird how it works nicely. To me, at least. I feel like normally you'd get, like, some conflicting frequencies or something. What is this one? So I saw this too, and I don't think it's in here anywhere, is it? Because this is in a song that I'm currently working on. I just sort of took it out of this and threw it into another track. But there's that. This is my typical rig for guitar. Just a control room and then a bunch of reverb and delay and then a little compression on the end. But I think it sounds really good. I like the bass line in this. I think it's really interesting with the sliding bass to not sliding bass. Slides. You know, I think that's cool. I don't know. I definitely tried a lot of new things on this track. It's really interesting. It's very smooth. It's very clean. Actually, almost directly opposite of the track before it. Have you listened to Tom Ashbrook? I've definitely heard of Tom Ashbrook. Is it piano music? Oh, he did a definitely look into him. I'm almost certain that I've heard him before. Recommended though? He's good. Yeah, I like that song a lot. I mean, the funny thing is too is that song's been out for so long. Well, so long. It's been out for 4 or 5 weeks or something. And I guess because of the holiday season, it just never got really picked up by a lot of people. Like, didn't get listened to a whole bunch, but I'm sure with the album coming out, it will. But yeah, that's the album. Yeah, you can find the records and the books on Bandcamp, which I'll throw in here to be, that guy who plugs his stuff. .com/Alaskan Tapes. Like I mentioned earlier. Actually, let me get them. The record and books. Like I mentioned earlier, they're kind of expensive, and I hate that I had to put these up for $50. And of course, no obligation. But if you do want one, they're super limited. I just couldn't lose that much money off them. I normally lose money off my physicals, and I'm still am on these, but I couldn't do it for any less. Unfortunately, although I wish everybody could have one because I think they're really cool. Like that, fold out is pretty sick. But like usual, vinyls are $20, and I always charge less on shipping than what it actually is. So if you want to pick up one of these, they look pretty good too. They're pretty awesome. I think this album is definitely better than the last one. So I hope everybody else likes it a lot. But yeah, I want to keep going on this for another 20 minutes or so, just to get to that 3-hour point or so, just for fun. So I think what we should do is maybe talk a little bit about future stuff. Let me show you a track that I've been working on. Going to 2023 album, October. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Let me find it. But if anybody else has any other questions about the album, or maybe wants me to go back to another track, let me know. I can do that for another 20 minutes. But this track is cool. I think it's pretty strong. I know this is about Who Tends a Garden, but Who Tends a Garden has been done for 8 months now. I've been over it, I think. Oh yeah, it's 10:04. 10:04. Let's open up this one, see how it goes. I think this one's really cool though. It's piano based, very clean. But in terms of I got a few questions on Instagram earlier today when I mentioned that we were doing this live stream, and it was more what are the plans for the rest of the year since the album comes out in January, at the start of January. And it's mostly nothing. I don't really have anything really planned. It's just going to be a few singles, a lot of collaborations this year too. I've got a lot of stuff lined up that I'm really excited for. But let me try to sort of zero at this track a bit. Yeah, let me try to zero this out. It should be plenty loud. Let's see. I'm going to sort of talk through this one because it's not done and all that. But I think the piano, this is probably the best piano recording I've ever done, I think. It sounds a lot like the end of Swimming and Dancing and Floating in Circles, track 8 on the album. But of course, a lot cleaner. Leafs update, still 2-1. Oh, you'll get to hear my trumpet playing in this too. Ooh, yeah. Hear that bass? It's just so simple, right? And so good and so short. I've been really liking short songs lately. And like twinkly piano, so I don't know, it's really nice. But I made this one a while ago too, actually. When did I make it? Yeah, in October. And that's it. You know, it's simple. It's a lot like Of Woods and Seas. It's like a mix of Woods and Seas and Swimming and Dancing. And I think it's really cool and it's really strong. That one will come out eventually this year. Don't have a name for it. Don't have anything for it. But it's definitely cool. Yeah. Yeah, and that bass, right? Like the sort of Ben Lucas Boysen, Nils Fromm sort of bass thing is really cool, I think. I haven't done it quite like I want to. Like in Nils Fromm's track Them. Oh my god. I'm sure everybody knows it, but it's so good and the bass is so heavy. But it's such like a beautiful track. I love it so much. You know what? I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't even. It's fine. I'm not sure if everybody here knows the alter alias Lutz Jennings that I make, but we're starting to take it a little bit more seriously as well. And I'll show you a track off that. I think it's this one that I really like, or that one, or maybe this one. Let's go to this one. Yeah, we're starting to take it a little bit more serious. It's definitely like dark, ambient, kind of gloomcore-y. You know, it's cool, I think. And I found this technique, actually, if anybody wants to copy it. So I found this delay called delay. It's this here. But the interesting thing is this feature here, this duck feature, which is supposed to be like a sort of side chain feature. What it does, though, is... Okay, let me see if I can explain this properly. So when it's completely wet, it still listens to the dry signal and side chains the dry signal with the wet. So it sounds like a really messy and horrible tape machine or something, you know, and like it gets real dirty real fast. But let's play this and you'll probably hear what I mean. It's definitely a lot more experimental than Alaskan Tapes and dark, but I think it's cool. Oh, is this even it? This isn't even the track I was thinking of. I'm changing it. 1 second. You get a little sneak peek of that one. But this one's a lot more like all the tracks are going to be like super short and grungy and like just gloomy, you know what I mean? It's going to be sweet. The alias is called Lutz Jennings, and in the past I've done really long form drone music with it, but we're taking it a little bit more seriously and a little bit more direction. Like in the past, we've done like 18-minute drone things, and now it's going to be sort of like this, and pretty much on every track uses this delay thing here. Oh, it's such a cool technique, and I don't know how I found it, or if I found it from anybody or whatever, but it's just cool. I listened to Nothing Like a Mirage. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. I'm really glad that you found that one. Yeah, that's the newest album from Lutz. And I really like that one too. But it's just a little side project. It's just something for fun with no pressure or anything. But let's hear this. You can hear a little bit of digital distortion, but that's just because of my Azio driver. My driver cannot handle this. It's interesting. I think it's a cool sound, and like I don't know if anybody listens to a lot of like Future Garage or anything, but it kind of feels like that without the drums a little bit. It's just fun to explore. Like with songs like these, it's been really nice because you can make like 3 of them in a day and just sort of get on with it. But that has nothing to do with Who Tends a Garden. So I'm gonna. Oh, we crashed again. I'm going to go back to swimming and dancing and floating in circles, and then just want to hear the end of it again, then we'll call it a night. I seriously appreciate everybody for being part of this one. It's really fun. I want to get back into streaming quite bad. And like I said before, this one will stay up. But I want to start making tracks on stream again, and we're doing a lot of podcast stuff again this year, so it's going to be a lot more, I don't know, it's going to feel a lot more connected this year, I feel like, at least for me. I feel like by the middle of last year I kind of got burnt out on everything, and I was over it, last thing I wanted to do was stream, but now I'm really back into it. So I also ran out of time too. That was another thing. Time went away. But let's listen from here on. No audio. How annoying is that? There we go. We got audio. Almost forgot to mention too, not sure if anybody saw on Instagram, but we got approved for a grant for one of the music videos for this album of Woods and Seas. Is going to get a really sick music video because of it, and it's going to be by the same director who did Scan, Places, and Waiting. So it's going to be really cool. Andrew's going to kill it, and we've been talking a lot about concepts and ideas, and there's a lot to look forward to with that. So I think we're going to wait until that comes out to put out any more music after this. I know sort of the meta right now is sort of to release music as soon as possible after a record. Even like the big people like will release a B-side or something a month after. But that's sort of not the thing here. We're going to sort of just lay low, let people digest the album a little bit and see what happens. And then we'll come through with that video, and then the floodgates will open again. I'm sure there'll be like another 15 songs this year, I'm sure, because there's collaborations with Lux that is happening right now and almost done. Oat Mellow and I are doing a track or two, or maybe an EP, possibly. Don't hold us to that. We'll see. And there's potential to be a really awesome feature on one of those. And just a few other ones, you know. Me and Flat Sound have been chatting, kind of, you know. Could happen, could not. We'll see. But there's a lot of cool things coming. Let's listen to this and then call it a night. Yeah, man. Dan Andrews, the best, and he's gonna kill it. You should hear his ideas for it. It's crazy. The treatment's awesome. Song so much. I think it's the perfect ending to an album. It's so good. I love it. Sometimes you're able to like not listen to it a lot and then come back to it and it's like, yeah. good. All right. I'm going to call it there, I think. Call it a night. Thank you, everybody, seriously, for tuning into this. And pretty much staying through the whole thing. I'm looking here. The average view duration is 22 minutes. That's a lot. I can't believe that. That's really good. So I really appreciate you all. And in 5 minutes, on my YouTube channel, it's going to be up. So if you want to watch that, please do. You know, viewing that and watching all the way through really really helps the algorithms and all that stuff. But be on stream again soon, I hope. We'll find a reason to, for sure. Maybe we'll make music, or maybe we'll do Lutz Jennings stuff, or whatever. But seriously, thank you all. Thank you all to who like pre-ordered the album without really hearing any of it. And thank you everybody for allowing me to do this. It feels good, and yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.